Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is a Chew review. This is of the original Chew series. This is not short format. This is not a second look. This is a first look at a reasonably new product. This is the product. It is Big Duke's Southern Blend. Little background. I first started seeing this about a year ago. And it came out right about the time that the Sweet Blend, that I rather would not think about at this moment, came out. So I had already reviewed Big Duke Original twice. Original long format in this playlist and then short format. Then Sweet came out. That was a new Chew review that I did last year. And a little disappointing compared to the quality and the overall tastiness of the original. But then I saw this picture, and I was like, no, that can't be right. They haven't released two things at the same time. And then I'm like, oh, maybe it's Photoshopped. And then I'm thinking, who the heck goes through the trouble of Photoshopping something involving chewing tobacco? Well, it wasn't Photoshopped, it was real. And I did hear people asking about it, but there seemed to be confusion somewhat like my own. So, recently I was contacted by a gentleman in Tennessee that said he had scored a bag for me. That gentleman is Alex of Tennessee, and he is completely to thank for this review. He not only sourced the product, he paid for the product, he paid for the shipping, and he basically didn't let me do anything except review it right now and mention his name. So, Alex from Tennessee, I thank you, and you will be hearing more about him soon, because I don't think Alex from Tennessee is done quite yet. Anyway, this is the review of this. This is the 75th review. For those astute viewers that are like, well, the last review on this playlist was numbered 75. That is because there was a review that never went up, and I eventually at a later date removed, all right, because of a bad bag. And technically this would have been the 76th if that wasn't the case, but it is actually the 75th. So, this is Big Duke Southern Blend. So what you got here, for people that are not in the know about chewing tobacco, is a 3-ounce, net weight ounce bag of loose leaf chew, okay, shredded chew. It is in the standard Pinkerton bag with a Ziploc at the top. It has a fold over. Once folded over, there will be some glue dots, not a terrible amount of them, not like American Snuff Company products that usually use 12. There'll be about 6, I'm guessing, maybe 8. No matter, because it has the Ziploc underneath them. The Ziploc on these bags should be engaged when you buy, okay? It's not like a Stoker's bag. This is not a sealed seam until you tear it. It is an open seam with a bunch of glue dots acting as sort of a safety seal, all right, to let you know that nobody else has opened the product. So, that said, if you pick up a bag of this and the Ziploc is for some reason not sealed, do not buy, because 6 glue dots has been standing between the outside air and the product inside for an unknown period of time. Okay? Guys that know about chew and use chew a lot, this is all, duh, of course. A lot of people that dip do not know chew. And I know this because of some questions that I get. All right? So, if the Ziploc's not engaged in this bag, do not buy the bag. All right? So, as I said, you got basically same thing with both sides. Okay? This has a flap over, obviously. All right? Warning label, clear. This is Fresh Track branding right there. That is the type of Ziploc on the bag, okay? I use Ziploc as a general, in my part of the country, and I'm guessing this is in most places, I use Ziploc as a general term for that type of enclosure. really, Ziploc started as a brand and became a general term. Now, I think this is countrywide, but it may not be. So, you got both sides basically the same. The one side does have a flap. It has no turnovers in the flap because it's not American stuff product. On the bottom, you have Big Duke branding, the contact phone number, okay, the Fresh Track branding, and I guess trademark maybe? Registered trademark, yeah. Barcode bag is for individual sale. Then over here you have sale only allowed in the United States, at least 20% domestic grown tobacco. Some people are going, 20%? That's it? About as good as you get in domestic foreign tobacco counts in chewing tobacco is Red Man Original, okay? And it is only about 65 to 69%. For whatever reason, foreign grown tobacco is needed to make chewing tobacco product. It's not that they're getting for this, yeah, it probably, economy for the company, Pinkerton Tobacco Company, probably plays a part. They're probably like, okay, we can get this tobacco from here and, we'll make more money per bag. But in a lot of cases, like Red Man Original, it's the leaf, it's the type of leaf that's needed. We're evidently not producing it in this country, or we're not producing a variety of the quality needed for whatever they deem necessary for chewing tobacco. Thus, Red Man, 65, 69%. And then the rest, the 41 to 45%, or 31 to 35%, basic mathematics, is foreign. Okay? So, keep in mind, for all we know, the foreign could be Canadian. So yeah, 20%, which actually is in line with Red Man Select. Red Man Select is only about 20% domestic. All right? And then underneath that is 2020 Pinkerton Tobacco Company, Owensboro, Kentucky, USA. All right? 2020 is the packaging design. So the product, not this particular product, although it could be. I have not seen a date code. But as long as it's sealed, don't really worry about it. There is a date code that I cannot read. It's press printed, and you can't even see it. It's right there. I'm not worried about it. I can tell by feeling the packaging. It feels fine to me. So, I'm going to open this up. That said, I am pretty sure, I'm guessing what this is going to be. I'm not going to say it yet. I'll let you know if I'm right after I open it up. But I am sure that it will be good. I am hoping it is not a certain good, because that could spell trouble for another product in the Pinkerton line. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. 6. All right. So there is a little bit of tobacco stuck in the Ziploc. That sometimes is not a good thing. This one looks like it basically cut the tobacco. That's only a problem if the Ziploc doesn't cut the tobacco in half. All right? If the Ziploc fights its way through the tobacco and still seals, it's fine. This, you can see it cut it. If there's a larger chunk stuck in there, it may not cut it, and then technically the bag has been compromised, all right? By that point, though, you've usually left the store, popped off the glue dots, and it's sort of too late. Doesn't happen often. It does happen. Doesn't happen often, though. And not very often at all with Pinkerton, now that I think about it. So I have it open. Okay, it is smelling like a sweet and chew. It is very dark. Looks very well treated with whatever molasses-like concoction they have done. There's a lot of moisture on the inside of the bag. It is a good bag, good quality foil bag. There are some blonde highlights. I'm not really seeing any main stem material. There might be some secondary stuff. It's glistening a little bit. So let's pull some out here. It smells like a Suit&Chew. It smells like a Levi Garrett. It doesn't look like Levi Garrett though. It's darker. There's a lot more moisture, and I'm not seeing any main stems. There is secondary stuff like leaf veins, which usually look somewhere in the line of that. That is fine. I actually like them. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. I like them in Redman because they sort of give like a popping feel when you bite down on them. A little weird, but true. Anyway, it is a little tacky to the touch, but not actually leaving anything. So that's what you're looking at. It's translucent bits are evident. There's a lot of them. It's really well-treated stuff. It is leaving a little bit of resin on the fingers. Again, not bad. I mean, not bad at all. Stoker's straight, and my hands get absolutely banged up dipping. So it's what I would call sort of a medium cut. Let me take a second here. I'm going to hit the pause button. Wipe my hand off, and then I will be back once I get this packed down a little bit. Not the stop button, for God's sake. And I'm back. Okay. Well, it's good, so that's good. It is a sweetened chew. It is in the same line as like Levi Garrett, without the stems and more moisture right out of the bag, right out the gate. Okay, juice is up pretty good. Now I actually have been chewing today a different product, so a much different product. So it's spitting fine. It's creating plenty of, byproduct in the mouth. It feels good. There's some secondary leaf veins. That is the veins on a leaf if you turn up. That deal. I don't mind them. I was serious about that. I don't really mind them at all. There's a lot of flavor. And it's sort of rich. Now, here's the problem. And this is what I thought the problem was going to be. Well, you know what? I shouldn't word it like that because I'm not sure if problem... I'm not sure if this is a problem, really. I'd have to give it more thought. I think Pinkerton with this may be streamlining. And what I mean by that is with the arrival of this, one of their other products may not be long for this world. And that other product is Southern Pride. Because this basically is that. And vice versa. How I feel about that? I don't really know the historical story of Southern Pride. I am guessing that that name was bought by Pinkerton off of someone else. I'm guessing. So depending how long its history is basically would determine how I felt about that. Now, if it's not terribly long or it's something that Pinkerton itself just sort of materialized, then that's not a big deal. If it has a really long history or a long history under maybe two names, Southern Pride being the second, then that's a little different. Then do we really want to see that go type deal? But this is Southern Pride. And I first got that idea, it might be, because this is Southern Blend. And, now, there would be reasons for a company to do that. It's basically streamlining product release. Them saying, you know what, we got this product here. Basically, it's being made in the same manner as this one, only sweeter. Streamline under one branding name, which would be Big Duke. As I said, it depends on how long Southern Pride's history is. And I really don't know, so I'm not going to lean either way on that. Another marketing view would be, though, that keeping Southern Pride around and keeping this alongside it would take up more shelf space. There's an argument for that, too, unless the production of both have, like, a cost Pinkerton isn't willing to pay. So, if you've had Southern Pride, that's basically what this is. It does seem to have a bit of a twang to it, but again, I haven't had Southern Pride real recently. It's been a couple months. That and the twang could be because, especially today, I've been chewing something that's very different. I'll tell you what, I've been chewing Redman Select today, okay? So, flavor-wise, this is going to be, the Redman Select's going to throw off my sense of sweet blends and all that. $1.99. You're not going to beat that. The quality is here. You know what? I'll pull out some more. I'll goof up my hand again. The quality is dead on. I don't know how well you can see in there. There's moisture on the bag. The product is moist. All right. There's some longer stringy bits. For the most part, it's a medium cut. Now, for guys that don't know, young guys, etc., there is really no nicotine in chew when compared to dip. There's, for example, I will use the highest nicotine level chew there is, which is Redman Original, for those that don't know. Or main brand, widely accessible. So, let's say the cheapest, or not the cheapest, I'm sorry, the lowest nicotine product dip, okay? That would be Skull Cherry. It's like 2.03, okay? Per gram. You may, if you take a large dip, you may use up to 4 grams at a time. But 2.03, I think. It could be 2.3. You get the idea. Redman Original is 0.08. Okay? Per gram. Now, you're using more grams, but still, even if you pack your cheek full, you may get up to the nicotine level something approaching Skull Cherry. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because you do not want to lose track of your Kodiak Wintergreen or your Copenhagen Snuff or whatever, because you will find yourself very unhappy within a matter of hours. I've said it a lot of times before, but new people have come in. Chew for me is mostly a flavor thing. There is a draw to spitting. That's why I usually use it outdoors. And I usually go towards originals, like regular, non-sweetened. Southern Pride, though, has always been on my good list, and this being close to that is as well. So, Big Duke is now 3 different products. You have the original, you have Sweet, do not try the Sweet, and you have Southern Blend. So, 2 out of 3, Big Duke and Pinkerton, not too shabby. Beyond that, you know, Big Duke, the original, when I originally reviewed it, I think it was at $1.99 for that too. They're really good products, and Pinkerton in general. Pinkerton also makes Redman. Is what you want to go with, in my opinion, when it comes to loose leaf. I'm not trying to hate on American Snuff Company or Levi Garrett, but their products are sort of more old school loose leaf, like early loose leaf scrap, and thus their moisture levels are lower. Okay? And they don't have the Ziploc, and they don't have as much treatment to them. There's not as much molasses used, etc. Some people like that, and that is how it used to be. But for me, if I'm going towards loose leaf, I'm looking for a lot of moisture and, less stems, heavily molassed, or however you want to say that. And that's what I'm looking for. So for me, Pinkerton products make a choice. Now, the unsaid thing about this, and we're up to 21 minutes, is that if this is going to be alongside Southern Pride, then there's this Southern Pride, and there is a third one. And they're all being billed as less stems than Levi Garrett. And the third one has been billed that way since the 1980s. Because if you look at the playlist commercials of old, you will find a commercial for it. And I have reviewed it. So check this playlist for Granger Select, which was Pinkerton's first go at Levi, besides Redman Golden Blend. But I'm not sure if they had red. Okay, anyway, this is getting way too complicated, so I'm going to cut it off now. So yeah, if you see it at $1.99 and you like Chew or you want to try Chew, this is definitely a good idea or a good pick. All right. I personally would start out with, if I was new to Chew altogether, I personally would start out with its original version and then do the Sweet, just because that is sort of the historical line of how things came out first and then second. But that is just me, and I tend to be a little goofy like that. So, this has been the review of Big Duke Southern Blend. It's good. It's good. I'm just wondering if this is going to be the end of Southern Pride. But, depending, as I said, what Southern Pride's history is, that may not be that big of a deal. So, I am Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy. I will be returning tomorrow night with a Cuspidor review that will be monetized, and I'd appreciate it. Well, you know what? People are going to watch that anyway, so I don't really need to be like, please watch the monetized videos. Because it's a Cuspidor, obviously. Who's not going to watch that? Who's not going to watch a video where I repeatedly say Cuspidor and Amazon review? You know why I always have it? I have it tagged as that. I have it in the title. I have it mentioned repeatedly. I'll tell you why. Because YouTube, and by extension Google, love Amazon. And Amazon loves them. It's heartwarming. Anyway, I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves. And as always, God bless.